And weeks ago, standing in front of the entire football world, Cristiano Ronaldo said something almost nobody expected to hear so soon, that his sixth World Cup this summer would also be his last. At 41 years old, the most relentless competitor the sport has ever seen is finally admitting that time, even for him, is running out, because the boy behind this legend grew up with almost nothing at all. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro is born in 1985 in Funchal, on the Portuguese island of Madeira, the youngest of 4 children. His mother works as a cook and cleaner just to keep food on the table. In her own memoir years later, she'll admit that during the pregnancy, the family was struggling so badly that she considered not going through with it at all. His father, Jose Diniz, returns from military service in Angola and Mozambique, broken and unemployed, eventually finding steady work only as a gardener and part-time kit man for a local football club, the same club where young Cristiano starts kicking a ball around, using rags and plastic bottles when a real one isn't available. Home is a small house with a tin roof, shared with 3 older siblings. There's no money for extra training gear, no shortcuts, just hours spent alone in narrow streets, working on the close control and balance that will one day become his signature. He earns the nicknames Cry Baby and Little B as a boy, teased for being small and thin even as coaches begin to notice something different in the way he moves with the ball. At school, he's mocked for his island accent and eventually expelled for throwing a chair at a teacher he felt had disrespected him. Football is the one place where none of that seems to matter. At 12, Ronaldo leaves Madeira entirely, moving hundreds of miles away to join Sporting CP's academy in Lisbon alone, homesick, and according to people close to him, in tears, more nights than anyone realized at the time. He seriously considers giving up and going home. Instead, he trains harder than everyone around him, sneaking extra sessions in whenever he can. Then, at 15, comes a diagnosis that could have ended everything before it truly began: tachycardia, a racing heart condition serious enough that doctors warn it might force him out of football entirely. His mother later recalls the fear in that hospital waiting room, not knowing whether her son would ever play again. He undergoes laser surgery to correct it, and within days, he's back on the pitch, running at the same explosive pace that would soon make him famous. If you didn't already know that part of his story, that's exactly the kind of detail worth sticking around for, so consider subscribing now, because what comes next changes everything for him. By 18, Ronaldo signs with Manchester United, and the rest starts to feel like a highlight reel. An FA Cup in his first season, 3 straight Premier League titles, a Champions League trophy, then a move to Real Madrid, where he becomes, by some measures, the greatest goalscorer the sport has ever produced. 5 Ballon d'Or awards follow. But in the middle of this rise, in 2005, his father dies of liver failure after years battling alcoholism. Ronaldo is only 20, and by his own admission, the two of them never once had what he'd call a real, normal conversation. Years later, shown an old videotaped interview of his father from a year before his death, Ronaldo breaks down in tears, watching him explain how proud he'd been, despite everything left unsaid between them. He'll later say he still wonders whether his success has somehow been his father watching over him from somewhere he can no longer reach. Fame, for Ronaldo, never quite erases the instinct built into him during those years of hardship in Madeira. Even now, at 41, he trains like a man half his age, obsessive about recovery, diet, and sleep in a way teammates half his age still struggle to match. In late 2025, a health tracking company monitoring his body reportedly described his internal performance as closer to someone 12 years younger numbers. He says himself, that don't lie. That relentlessness has helped keep him playing years longer than almost anyone predicted. First at Juventus, then at Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia since 2023. A move that reignited his goal scoring and, in October 2025, made him the first active football player ever confirmed as a billionaire. But wealth and records were never able to protect his family from tragedy. In April 2022, Ronaldo and his partner Georgina Rodriguez announced they are expecting twins. When the birth comes, only their daughter survives, their son does not. It is the greatest pain that any parents can feel, the couple writes at the time, thanking hospital staff and asking simply for privacy. Ronaldo will later say that Georgina's presence in his life has helped carry him through both that loss and the grief he still holds for his own father. Football, through all of it, keeps pulling him forward. still their all-time leading scorer with well over 200 international appearances behind him. Sitting on 954 career goals, he's chasing the one milestone nobody in the sport's history has ever reached, 1,000. Yet even Ronaldo can't outrun time completely. Criticism mounts over whether Portugal is better off with someone else leading the line, someone with fresher legs and a more direct role in the build-up play. He no longer drives the way he once did. He manages only 2 goals across the group stage, both against Uzbekistan, and goes scoreless through an entire prior tournament before that. Then, the night before Portugal's round of 16 match against Spain, the following night, Portugal loses 1-0. Ronaldo walks off the pitch, having never once, across 6 World Cups and more than 2 decades of trying, lifted the one trophy that always eluded him. He doesn't confirm he's retiring from football altogether. He remains under contract with Al Nassr through 2027 and has always said he'll walk away only when he decides the time is right. The man, once too stubborn to even discuss retirement, has openly named an ending. And it comes the same year his own sister publicly suggested this World Cup would be his true farewell to the national team he's represented for over 2 decades. Away from the stadiums, at 41, Ronaldo now shares his life in Riyadh with Georgina and 5 children. Cristiano Jr. twins, Eva and Matteo, Alana and Bella. He's spoken about trying to become, deliberately and consciously, the kind of present, involved father, his own dad, loving in his own way, but consumed by addiction, never fully managed to be for him. The boy who trained with rags and stones because there was nothing else, who was mocked and expelled from school before anyone believed in him, who nearly lost football to a failing heart at 15, who buried his father at 20, still carrying words they never got to say to each other, and who, decades later, buried a son he'd never get to know. That same man just stood in front of the entire world and admitted, for the first time, that even his story has an ending. Whatever comes next for Cristiano Ronaldo, on or off the pitch, one thing hasn't changed since he was a kid kicking a plastic bottle around the streets of Madeira. He's never been the one to walk away quietly. And he doesn't seem to be starting now. And that's what's really happened to Cristiano Ronaldo at 41, a career nobody thought could stretch this far, and an ending nobody was quite ready for. Did any of this surprise you? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe to catch the next story right here.